It was tough out there, and hitting one of these at the wrong angle and or speed could be the end of a fine day's racing. The De Bruins were still going steadily in the Toyota, but had lost a fistful of places due to some wrong slotting and a few minor problems which slowed them down. And the rocky climb in the military base at Heidelberg was tough on man and machine. Even the specials, built for this stuff, battled here. And there was, despite the sunny skies, still a lot of water to negotiate. This route is never really dry at this time of the year. Terence Marsh and Peter Groenewald hardly noticed though. The Edenko bat with the Besaidnout aboard was almost unrecognizable, and the mountains here at the end of the first loop certainly took its toll. With the Regent Racing bat of father and son, Jan and Hendrik Kraai looking for win number 6 out of 8 races in 07, and no one was betting against them doing it. Ferguson and West had got their Ford a little lighter, albeit slightly unbalanced as a result, but they were going well enough and into the top 20. In Class D, Arnold Duplessis and Johan Knox in the BB Auto Nissan were steady as they always are and in second place in class. And ready to pass, it was Archie Rutherford and Craig Doubtfire in the third Atlas Copco. The windscreen wipers were working overtime on the muddier parts of the route, and Kobus van Tonde and Rian Guapa and the Unifreight Ford Ranger had a lot of places to make up after finishing 40th in the time trial. The Kopenhagen lads were full steam ahead, while Kutsiela Beskagni and Johan Gerber were trying to conserve their car. Father and son Cliff and Louis Weichelt were also going well in Class D in their Bosel Toyota. With Ramon Besaidnout and Stefan Locke, despite a bent steering arm, were heading for the designated service point. Berthold and Robin Houghton took their time penalties and were screaming up the batting order, but had a lot of traffic to contend with. In the mountains, it was best to take it easy and get the car out in one piece. This section had to be negotiated again in the afternoon, thus Vella had to stand back for safety this time. Fabio Tofani and Alan Deerling in their Toyota got through unscathed, but tyres here were a great worry, and some teams were already on a spare or two. In Class E, Jack Peckham and Lucio Santoro were looking for a finish and then a podium, and they were protecting the Ford Ranger big time. Conversely, Thomas Rundle lost the Dunlop part of his car, but was sure that he would bounce back. Jannie Visser and Joks Leroux had to dodge the offending part. But they were going well and dominating in Class E. On the way to the designated service point, it was still Hutchison and Bergman who were leading. Grenier ahead in the production car class, but Woolridge and Schulthammer were closing in. At DSP, the Motorrad crew were ready to take a 15-minute break and repair what little there was to repair. Hutchison had been doing some low flying. It was a hive of activity, but in this squad, unlike the All Blacks, everyone knows exactly what they have to do. Matthews and Smith steamed in next, 5 places up from where they started in the morning, but Evan was not even racing.
We're still in the lead at the end of the first lap, which is a miracle because most of the time we've been lost. We haven't really known where we were going the whole lap. So apparently everybody's really close because I don't know. Obviously the guys who made it back have done well just to find their way back in here. We've had quite a few closed gates, bunting where we're meant to go through, so it's been really, really difficult now. But we've made it through the first lap. We're still in the lead, which is what we need to be. I don't know where Harper is, which is the person we're racing. But the car's still good, so we'll go out, and if we've made it round once, theoretically we should be able to make it round again. But it really has been very, very difficult just to try and find, and I haven't been racing, we've just been driving, trying to find our way. So We'll go and try and give another lap, yeah.
The Harpers were indeed in 2 minutes and 8 seconds slower than Hutchison, but had a few problems which cost them some time. And Variawa and Rousseau had lost 1 place in the total motorsport porter. Despite a misfire, they had kept it going quite nicely.
No, it's going fine. We passing the guys, falling back again, getting lost. And with the water, we're having a sort of a misfire, I think, wet electric, so it slowed us down a bit. But everything's fine. Guys, 100%. We're just changing the CV boot and we'll be back on the road.
Grenier and Birken's cars sounded awful, but the Toyota had got them there, so it could not have been too serious. Well, Woolridge and Schulthammer were just 3 seconds slower than the prologue winner over the first 180k shift. Grenier was trying to keep it tidy.
Yeah, it's been going quite well so far for us. We've had a clean run up to now. We're battling with the route schedule. You know, we're really getting lost everywhere. But otherwise, we're trying to keep it clean and get it to the end clean. That's our intention at this stage.
And the route book came in for some stick. In the Ford enclosure, there was feverish activity as they had 2 contenders right up there.
It's been tough this morning, eh? Started off doing nicely and, you know, we're just making a little bit of error here and a little bit of error there and we've lost the place every time, so it's been hard punishment, but I'm not a problem with the windscreen, the rubber's come out. So all the muddy water's going down the inside of the windscreen, but you know, it's very difficult to see after you've been through mud splash. But I'm sure we're going to sort that out now and have a lot better run on the second lap. And it's still anybody's race. You know, from all my experience here, anybody can win from this point in. So I'm looking forward to the next lap, really going to push it hard. We're going to hold back.
It's not really in Brandon's personality in any case, nor is it in the defending SP champions Woolridge and Schulthammer's for that matter.
No, it's good. It's finding the route's difficult, but the circuit's very nice, very nice. It's a bit dusty, but just finding the way, it's a little bit difficult. The odor and the route schedule are not quite calibrated.
And the Ford Ranger, how's it going?
The car's fantastic. No, it really is magnificent. On top of it, we just got 1 to pass now and we should be there.
For the outgoing national champion, Hannes Grobler, the wet was a little daunting, but as we know, this man can drive in anything. I guess even treacle and mashed potato.
Not too wet. Some places are wet. Where there's little river crossings and things, we get like flayland and it's very wet there. But further on, it's fine.
In the other pit areas, teams were cleaning numbers, refilling and fixing, while the driver and navigator were sitting down and having a quick bite, as well as rehydrating. It's a time to try and relax before hitting the road for the final time in the 2007 season.
Ag, het gaan alright. Die navigation is 'n bietjie moeilik vandag. Die roete en die GPS en al die goeders werk nie lekker met mekaar nie. Maar ons gaan alright. Ons gaan alright. Ons soek die roete.
Foss got to DSP despite that half-tuck and a roll of his, which would not have scored many points with any gymnastic judge. The mechanics were trying their best to get it proper again, but Foss had even bigger problems than a little roll.
We rolled the car in the beginning, managed to right it, get going again, and we caught the other guys and we were running in a train and we got lost and we got into a quarry. We beached the car on a huge rock and it took us about 12 minutes to get it off the rock. So that's where we've lost our time.
It wasn't pretty, but then, at the Ford Carnival City 400, it never really is.
Vehicle and asset finance from ABSA, going off the beaten track.